I haven't watched it, but a lot of people said it's popular. But I've always hear this phrase, enough is never enough. Without reading the essay, do you believe that enough is never enough? Even before? Anna, do you believe that enough is never enough?
Yeah,
Never enough.
yeah, I think it's normal for a human being.
Mm. So it's normal for us to desire and to want more and more. So it talks about satisfaction, right? So I've read in a book and it says that man would never be satisfied until he is dead. So the moment we are dead, that's the time that we end our satisfaction as well. So as long as we are living, we won't be satisfied. That's the meaning of enough is never enough. How about you, Kam? Do you believe in that?
Mm, yes, I think so. Because the demand of people never enough when they have something they want, and after that they also want um, have new demands with the bigger things you 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 want to do in the future. So I think that's why the demand of people never stop. And I also believe that is the main emotion to push our society more developed.
Oh, so it's the desire of man or men that cause development. Okay, maybe you have a
Mm.
point in there. Right, so let's go to our essay. So, Anna, what is your understanding about this three paragraph essay?
Uh, in this essay today, talk about satisfaction.
Mm.
Um, when we uh, own a thing, we always expected another thing. It continues um, from day by day until we die. Um, there are two reasons lead this. Uh, First, because we always compare ourselves to others. And the second is the media always show us the glamorous thing about other. To want to we want to be there, and it's like the mosquito always flying into the flame. We cannot say it's good or not good, but we should uh, define how enough for us.
What is enough for us human beings?
How enough for uh, to keep balance from many things around us.
Okay.
I think so.
So, you said a while ago that it is natural for human beings to want more, Anna, right? But
Yeah.
is there a way not to want more or to be satisfied with what you already have right now? Because I know that, for example, we have our own job, we have our family, maybe we can survive every day, but then We still want more. That's why we study and we add additional knowledge to what we already have. So, do you think that even when we say it's natural for a man to want a lot of things, do you believe that it's possible for us to be satisfied and to stop from wanting more?
I think if it makes us always not happy because we compare ourselves to other, it's not good. But if it's push us to set the goal and um, act to aim the goal um, by our best, it's good.
Right. Yes, I understand. If it's for self-development only, but if you saw that your neighbor has a new car and it's color silver, and then because of that you also want to buy the same car, maybe that desire is kind of not good. But if it's for self-development, maybe it's good, right? So, like if you are always comparing yourself to others, you are competing against them to be like them. um, it's like in the business, like in the Philippines, many Filipinos are fond of having a small business in the neighborhood. So if the neighbor will have a small business, also the neighbor will build a small business. So all of them in the neighborhood will build, and no one will buy anymore because they're all sellers. So that's like a competition, competing who has more. Okay, Cam, are you okay there? So Cam, what's your understanding about the essay?
I think the people in the first essay we they offer some base thing for good life, have a good vacation, don't have any debt, and everything so become comfortable like a big house. So the people are never to satisfy with they uh, with the hand. They always to have a chance when they want to compare with other people. Like how about how many money they are able to spend on their vacation and many other things. And the other side nowadays we always approaching with the society media from when they make everything so sparkling, and that make people to misunderstanding. And the last, I think to to become more richer is the non-process when people have always to have to change not their self. And but almost people they just want to become richer after a night, and they don't want
Mm.
to focus on train their self. So I
Mm.
think that's is the problem with many people when they want to become richer, while they don't want to push many many hard working.
Mm. Okay, so that's great, Cam. So there's a lot of points in your um, understanding about the essay. First is all about the media. So everything, the media pushes us to like get these things because all we see are those sparkling material, sparkling like gold. All right. So how can we avoid ourselves to be tempted, be tempted to want or to desire what the media is feeding us? Because nowadays it greatly affects all of us, right? So there's a new model of a phone or new clothes, new properties, jewelries, mm, and they're using models, beautiful models or handsome models like that. So how can we? I know you're a businessman, so you're also working to like convince people to buy your products, right? Mm. But I guess you know what's the difference between a need and a want, right?
Mm,
And I think clothes is one of the basic needs of um, people. It is indispensable. When we say indispensable, you cannot live without clothes because you cannot go around naked. It would be strange and it would be weird. So, of course, the media right now is feeding us a lot of materials that is really too much, and that is why many people spend most of their like salary spending too much that they don't need. So, how can we avoid desiring more, especially from the media? Never enough, never enough. Come, come, you have a headache now.
no, I think the first thing we have to understand about this is the product for we can relax, not real in life, and everything on the TV also luxury, also sparkling, but in the real life, everything so become more really terrible if we don't do if we don't have a ability for understand what happened around uh, the real how the real life. So I think that is the most key for we can understand and we can avoid the bad effect of media.
Okay, I just want to ask the question because yeah, it's all about our topic like the desire. Are you the kind of person, guys, who is materialistic? Materialistic. There's also a song about being materialistic. Okay. Materialistic is of course it's the too much desire or want of material things in life. Anna, have you heard the song Material Girl?
No, I don't know about this song.
It's also an old song. Maybe you can search about it and sing.
Material girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It says that I'm living in a material world and I'm a material girl. So Anna, are you materialistic? Just a
Mm.
question, no offense meant.
I think just a part.
So it's just if you rate yourself, it's on average.
On average.
Yeah, low, average, high. How materialistic are you?
I think it's medium.
Medium. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you are still in the right track. How about you, Cam?
I also think I'm thus average between the
Wow.
rich and
Okay. Mm, yes. How about clothes, Anna? Because I think, or maybe the society thinks that women really loves to buy a lot of clothes.
Yes, of course. Women live into clothes.
Live in a material world. So how many times do you buy clothes in 1 month?
Mm,
Let's see if you're not materialistic. Just kidding.
I can't remember how many times a month, but sometimes when I see a beautiful clothes, um, I, I of course want to own it, but I think about the old clothes I have before I decided to buy it. So maybe one time, 1 month, or 1 time, 2 months.
Once a month or
Or
once every
once,
2 months.
yeah.
Wow. So I think you are really reasonable, Anna. How about you, Cam?
uh, um I think one or two time a year
Oh, really? Unbelievable. Are you sure?
because every clothing I'm wearing also from our factory, our
Oh,
company. So I don't have anyone to buy anymore for me because that's enough for me.
wow. I think that's amazing. Like you have to really um promote your own product and use your own product, right?
Yes. I just
So
uh, wear my product.
you are the model of your own product. So that's amazing, Cam, because that's one of the good advertisement is to use your own product so that people will really believe.
Mm.
You have to be a model of your own clothes, Cam. Are you planning to do it? Like your kids also, like it's family. I think it's a good advertisement that you're using your own product. I already gave you an idea.
I see he hire a model.
And then you will make people believe that clothing is all about family, that people will really be hooked into that commercial or advertisement and will buy a lot of your product. That's amazing.
Mm.
Yes, one last question, Anna. In your case, um you have closet, right, or wardrobe?
Yeah.
Are you like other people? Because mostly many people they have a lot of clothes in their closets or wardrobe, but when they choose clothes, they can't choose, even they have a lot of clothes. Are you
Yeah,
like that?
even they have a lot of clothes, but when they have to choose one cloth to wear, they can't. Yeah.
Mm. Is it
No,
true to you?
this not for me.
Mm. Okay, that's amazing. My mother is like that, and many of my friends are like that. They have many clothes on their wardrobe, but they seem to be very confused on what clothes they would wear on that day. And then later on, you will find out that they will just wear the same clothes over and over. Yes. Okay. So in my case, I'll just wear plain, always plain. I want something plain. I'm of two extreme. If I'm not wearing plain, I'm wearing very colorful, like the clothes of the ethnic people. Yes, I like that kind of clothes, the clothes with different colors and only plain, white or black. So yeah, according to our teacher before guys, like needs and wants, it is also a part of the economy. Is it correct, Cam? Since you're a businessman,
Uh, what do you want to ask me?
the needs and wants of people is part of our economy. It contributes to the growth of our economy.
I don't understand.
The needs
Mm-mm.
and wants of people,
Yeah,
it makes
yeah,
it makes our economy grow.
sure.
You understand that?
Because yes, I understand. Because when um, the need or the want to make uh, you buy something, and that is the most important emotion in our society, to put every business want to uh, make many other products and sell out to our society when they find out the demand of people, and that is the basic things for to keep our society developed. When you compare with the coronavirus, when every people stay at home, they don't have any demand, and at that time our business to stop, and everything so become really uh, really worse.
So yeah, I think there's also a good thing about some products during the coronavirus. So I don't know, but this is in the Philippines. So how about in Vietnam? Aside from mask and sanitizer, hand sanitizer, which product do you think sells the most during coronavirus?
Everything, every product to relate about food,
Mm, that's
that's
great.
very
Food.
hard.
Mm. What else, Anna? What other product do you think is in demand during the coronavirus aside from food, mask, hand
Mask.
sanitizer?
Hmm, I think it's just food,
Food.
except mask and hand sanitizer.
Mm. Yeah. So I think that's true. But you know what? Smartphone. Smartphone is so in demand during the coronavirus. Yeah. And one of my friends told me that she wonder why, like in the Philippines many people don't have job during the coronavirus, but a lot of people are buying because she's working in a smartphone shop. A lot of people are buying smartphone during the coronavirus, even though um, let's say many people don't have work that time. And why do you think
Am I
it's the
right?
reason? Even though we say they don't have money, but they can buy because of people's interest also and boredom during the coronavirus. So it's not only our basic needs but also our interests that we buy things and product. So have you heard about um Maslow's theory of needs? Have you heard about
Yes.
this one? Yes. So
Yes.
it's a good read, guys. Yeah, and it says here that we have our very basic needs, but the 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 highest peak of our need is really self fulfillment. Is it right, Cam? From what you read?
Mm,
So we
yeah.
have a lot of needs in our mind. We want to have, or we desire many things, but the last desire is of course to fulfill or to get these things. And after getting all of it, we will go back from the bottom. It's like a pyramid, right? It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
So after going to the peak and we get it, we will go back. So that's why it's never ending. I want to ask Anna. I think you told me before, you told us that you want to um, build a house for your parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because we're talking about desire and needs right now, is that the desire that you most wanted in your life as of the moment? What's in your top list or top priority?
Mm. I think the top is my biggest dream as I build a house because it costs a lot of money and I have to work for many years to earn it.
Is it your own house already or still your parents' house?
Actually, in my own house, my parents um, uh, lend me a half.
Lend you half of the cost.
Yeah.
Wow, very good parents. Okay, so how many years do you think you can get your dream house, Anna?
Oh my God, I think about 20 years.
20 years. Wow.
Yeah.
So you have to really work on that. 20 years seems to be long. I can't imagine when I see you 20 years from now, how old will you be? Okay, thank you for sharing. And how about you, Cam? I heard you also want to have a house, warehouse. Is it your, I think, is it your number one goal or is it the peak of your goal, ultimate goal in life? Turn on your mic.
Yes, my big target in this year is how I can buy a warehouse in Haiphong province, and at that time uh, I'm also to join many uh, another group on Facebook for I can check the base price of real estate in Haiphong province. And I hope in the end of this year I can buy uh, I can buy a warehouse for myself with a reasonable price because I believe there are many people want to sell out their real estate with a lower price because they have to pay a lot of money for bank. And I believe at that time is a good occasion for I can buy in. I think so.
Wow. Anna, Cam will have it at the end of maybe at the end of the year and you will have it 20 years. Anna, are you going to build a mansion? Mansion, you know what's mansion?
Manson.
Mansion is a very big house with many rooms. Maybe 10 rooms.
No, it's
20
just a
20
normal house.
bedrooms. Ah, okay. It's just a normal house. But maybe it's a luxurious house because it's 10 years. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to comprehension question. The first question is, what is the nature of our desire? I think you already answered this, Anna, so maybe you can before when I asked you the question in the opening of our class. So can you expand or elaborate your answer about this question? What is the nature of our desire?
I think that's when we own a thing, we always um, dream about the bigger thing.
Mm, bigger picture, but in reality, it is very small. Yes. It is really natural for people to desire many things in life. Mm. Do you have the I have a student and her desire is just to travel when her kids grow up. She wants to travel alone,
Mm.
maybe just by walking and hitchhiking because she wants to experience its hardship, how difficult it is to do that. And but she said her husband doesn't want her to do it because maybe she will encounter a lot of problems. Oh, her husband is so sweet. Yeah, that's her desire. So let's have number two. Why can't we be satisfied with 3 meals a day? Come.
Mhm. Uh, I think in my case,
Yes.
I think really hard for for I can to be satisfied with if many people around me have a life better than me. For example, I feel really not comfortable when I know uh, the kids of our label they join to international school while my kids also to join a public school, and I think that is the basic demand of people, and that to make uh, people have a many emotion to have working earning much money because they want to show out their ability, and that is the most important thing to make every people rarely to feel satisfied with their life.
Okay. So I guess maybe to make it more positive, it is we will say maybe it is the nature of people to better better themselves or to make our lives more developed or improved. I think it will be more positive to say that than to say that we are never satisfied in our life. Yeah, talking about school, guys. Um, do you want your kids to go to international school or private school or public? Which one would you prefer or want them to have their education?
Uh, in my past, I think nowadays our kids, my kids, uh, joining in a public school with I think that's pretty good. But nearby time when I join another class, when they uh, uh, talk a lot about the international school, so that's make me changing something. But the money, the fee of in international school really high, and I don't have any prepare in my past, so that's why I'm thinking and considering about between the public and private school a lot, and I hope I can to find out something to balance. And I also to want the best opportunity for my kids.
Mm. Yeah, that's great. You really have to think about it over and over. How about you, Anna? Have you decided now when your
Mm.
son will grow up if he will be in an international, private, or public school?
In my case, I always expect my son can study abroad. But I want him to get scholarship by himself. Yeah.
Wow, that's good, Anna, but you already expect your son.
Expect.
Yeah, I think from my experience, it's good if kids will have the experience of getting their own scholarship while they are studying. Mm. And also, in my opinion, it's best. I don't know, but maybe in the Philippine setting, it's good to let the kids learn in public school than in private school because I tried to, yeah, teach in private school and also teach in public school, and you will know what's the difference between the two. And I think kids will be more developed in a wider community because we know that the real lesson happens outside the school with them communicating and having connections with people outside and not inside the school. So my mother and I always like argue where to send my brother. So my brother is only 2 years old. It's like you, Anna, you're expecting your son to get a scholarship, or because my mother really always telling me we have to send him to private school, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, because maybe many kids will bully him, like overprotective, like that. So I think it's if you're thinking on that way, I believe that your child won't really be developed if you are overprotective about them. Okay, so yeah, let's hope for the best of your kids, guys, and I hope you can decide better. So let's have number three. How can we free ourselves from excessive greed? Anna?
Yeah, I think it's so hard to uh, stop ourselves from excessive greed. I think maybe we stop compare ourselves to others and know um, where where we live at. That means um, we should uh, control our demand and learn about manage money we have.
Mm. How to manage our financial. Wow. But sometimes we really wanted that, but sometimes we buy things and we don't think about how much money we have. Just keep on buying and buying. Yes.
That's
Okay.
because we cannot control our demand.
Mm, our needs. So there is a song also, Too Much Love Will Kill You. Too much love
So
will
many
kill
song
you.
related.
Yeah. Whenever I'm talking to someone and that person talk, I can think of songs. And I think it applies to everything. Too much of everything is dangerous. Like excess, too much or say excess. They're the same. Excess of something or having an excessive greed or desire for something is dangerous. How about you, Cam? How can you free
Uh,
yourself?
I don't think so. I think with a man, they also have a many excessive greed, and that's is the base thing to push them try a lot and have working for to make many other results better. And when a man have to reduce their greed. I think at that time they become too more older, and in my case, I believe that I thus feel to freedom when I complete my targets, and I also believe the greed is the most important thing to push our society develop. We can create a lot, but we just can't. Corruption is okay.
I think corruption is part of man's greed. I think these two words are actually redundant because greed is too much. The want of is too much want of something. That's the meaning of greed. While excessive is it means too much. So these two words are already dead because it's double excessive and then greed. Really too much. Excessive, it means too much. Greed, it means the want or the need of too much things. Yes. I believe that you have a point, Kam. But yeah, um, corruption comes from greed also. So you said it causes our economy, right? Or maybe our nation to be developed, but it is also the cause of like problems like corruption in our government. Mm. I believe in that because what is better? What is better to others is bad to others as well. And it's how I guess it's how the world is balanced. If there is white, there is black. If there is light, there is dark. It's very deep, right? Okay. So let's go to express yourself. Number one, do you want to be gorgeous? Why or why not? Gorgeous is the highest, like pretty, pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, very good looking, very sexy. Others, small face, very good skin, like that. Everything seems perfect.
I think that's pretty good when I become gorgeous.
You believe, Cam, that you are not gorgeous right now? Because you said if I become.
Yes, I think now I'm not gorgeous.
Okay. But do you have the desire or the want to become gorgeous?
No, that's either the not most of my desire. I think gorgeous. Uh, that's either the normal demand when I I will better if I had, but not important with me if I can't. So that is
Mm,
not the most demand for me.
it's not on your ultimate goal in life to be gorgeous. Okay, because I believe that you're exercising every day, like running. Maybe you will be gorgeous in the long future, not in the short future. Just kidding. And also, Anna, how about you?
Yeah, I want to be gorgeous because I think it can help me earn money easily.
Wow, really? To be gorgeous? What's your work? No. Okay. And that's why you're doing yoga, Anna?
Yeah, uh, 1 month past.
Yes. So, I think if you want to be gorgeous, there's a lot of things that you need to restrain or stop yourself from doing, right? So it means that you are going to deprive yourself from eating a lot of food that you like, and deprive yourself from sleeping a lot, because you need to do exercise and maintain your the food that you are eating. But what's important, guys, is to have a gorgeous mind, to have a gorgeous mind, and to have a gorgeous heart. Then work out from the outside. So they said it's good if you are beautiful inside and outside. But in our society right now, of course, there is a standard of beauty. And I believe in Vietnamese, the standard of beauty is like skinny, skinny and white, right? Is it correct or is it correct?
Yeah, skinny and white.
Skinny and white, and they look so pale, pale. You know what's pale? Like very white already, that they look pale. And in other society, you have to look like Barbie. You know what's Barbie, right? Barbie doll. God bless you, Anna. God bless you.
Thank
You know
you.
what's Barbie? Barbie?
Barbie girl.
Yeah, Barbie doll. Yes, in other society, they want that kind of beauty standard, like very small waist, very big boobs, and very wide hips. That's the beauty standard that they have in other society. So let's go to number two. Oh, I think number two is a very obvious question, but you have to answer why. Do you want to be rich? Come, are
Hmm.
I think you're
Still,
rich right now.
this is stupid question because everyone always become rich. When they have more money, they can pay a lot for many other things they want. I think that is most demand of people.
Yes, I guess so. It's in the priority list of people. But it's asking about you. I think you don't need to be because you're already part. I remember before you want to be part of the group with $200. I forgot about that, but you want to be part of a group with this certain amount of salary during one of our classes before. Yeah, let's skip about that because we forgot how much is it. 1,000 US dollars. They said there are how many million how many Vietnamese people who have this salary and you want to be in that group. You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, it's because of your age. Just kidding. Okay, how about you, Anna? Yes, of course we really want to be rich, but what's your reason?
um, if I were rich, I would
Anna, don't say
still.
if I were. It's zero conditional. It means it's impossible. Oh my God. You have to be careful with your words. Okay, if I
I
were.
would experience a luxury trip.
Mm,
Yeah, fly in a famous flight and live in a five-star hotel in
mm.
America or
Wow. It's so exciting. Wow, that's amazing. So I'm so excited about being rich, guys. Of course, we all want to have a comfortable life, right? We want to be comfortable in living. But in my case, if I will be rich, I will buy a land near a forest or maybe near a beach.
Hmm.
Mm, yes, I want to relax
You can
in the
try that in
beach.
Vietnam.
Oh, I cannot buy a land in Vietnam because I'm not Vietnamese. The police will come to me. Okay, wow, that's amazing, Anna. I'm very excited about your plans. I hope it will happen. So let's have number three. Do you want to be famous? Why or why not?
In my case, I don't want to be famous because when I become famous, I think my normal life have some uh, appears many problem when every people around me always want um, to find out some problems in my life. And in my case, I think I'm just already normal people. So I also have a many problem, and I don't want my problem have been shown on the papers. That's why I don't want to be famous. I just want to be original, original people,
Original, ordinary, or normal.
ordinary people.
Mm. Ordinary person cam because if you say people, there's a lot of cam. How many cam in the world? Ordinary person or normal person? Okay. Wow. Oh, come. How about being famous to have your business have a wider audience or wider customer? Isn't it in your
No,
mind
I
that
don't want
mm, okay.
because maybe I become success in my business. Thus,
Mm.
depend on my mind and thus uh, suitable with my situation. And I think my knowledge thus useful for me and it's not fit for other people. So that's why I believe Bill Gates thus the best in in Bill Gates case, but never best in my case.
Wow. What a very good comparison. Okay. Hmm. So yeah, maybe it's still possible for your business to develop without you being famous. Because I guess I've met some people who use their popularity for their business. So before, maybe I said it before in our class, before the book becomes famous, and after that, the writer will be famous because of the book. But right now, for people to buy something like a book, you have to be famous personality first. Like the book Harry Potter. So J.K. Rowling is I think the richest author or writer. You know Harry Potter, right? Of course, it's very
Yeah.
famous. So before, J.K. Rowling really did not imagine that she will be very famous and she will be very rich because she is just an ordinary English teacher and she's poor. And I think her house before doesn't have a roof, so they can see the stars when they're lying down or when they are sleeping. That's right. And because of that, she was very imaginative and she did not expect that her books will be like that. People will receive it really well. And now she became famous because of Harry Potter and she became the most famous or the richest author in the world right now. Right now. Okay. So how about you, Anna?
Yeah,
Do you want to be famous?
I don't want to be famous because I can't stand there are a lot of people always stare at me and curious about my private life. I just want to enjoy every weekend with my family. And yeah,
Wow, that's great. How about you, Kam? Because you're using TikTok, maybe you will be famous soon.
No, just use TikTok for my for my business, and I don't want to become famous on TikTok.
Mm. You cannot be a model of your clothes because you don't want to be famous.
Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, there is a price to pay for being famous. Like the actors and actress, they become like a public property. Public property. It's like that they have a responsibility to always tell people, to always give reason to people whatever that they do, every small mistake. So that's very difficult. Let's go to number 4. Do you want to know everything? Why or why not? You will become God.
Yes, I think I really want to know everything, at least in my business.
Mm, in your business. Wow. I think you will become rich, Cam. That's the key to become the richest businessman. To know everything. Do you know the movie Lucy?
No.
Yeah, Lucy is a good English movie, guys. And if you have time, maybe you can watch it. It's all about a woman who opens up not only 10% of her brain, but 100% of her brain. So he can see the colors of the sound, and she became very powerful, and she became very knowledgeable. She's like God. And that's a very amazing movie. Like there is a price also you need to pay for knowing everything. So if you have time, please watch the movie. It's really a good movie. How about you, Anna?
I want to know everything. I think at that time I can open a consultant office and um, if I can know about everything in the future, I think I can become rich soon.
Hmm? You can reach. You can be rich for
Rich
sure.
can be rich soon.
Mm. I guess you have to be a fortune teller. You have to be a fortune teller so that you can tell what will happen to people. Mm. But I guess they're like psychologist Anna, right? Psychologist. People also consult to these people, but some of them became rich, and but many of them are not. So psychologists, they will give advice also to people's behavior, what they should do, like that, give guidance. So it's like the same with you, what you are thinking. So guys, I have read about this book, and I know maybe it's a Chinese person who said this one, and he said there is one thing I know, and that is I don't know. Do you understand? There's a lot of no. There is one thing I know, and that is I don't know. Do you understand it?
Hmm.
I think it's a paradox thing.
Paradox. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. Oh my God. It's the same phrase. Let's have number 5. Hmm. I guess you mentioned this before about a house, but I don't know if you want a big house. So do you want a big house?
Anna,
No, I don't want to own a big house because I don't. I think I can't clean on the floor.
It's difficult to clean the floor. Okay. Is that the only reason, Anna, why you don't want to have a big house?
Yeah, I just want to own a small house.
Hmm. Yes, that's right, Anna. Also, that's in my mind. Like a small house is better than a big house because they said the bigger your house will be, the bigger the gap between you and your family members.
Hmm.
Because it's very far. Maybe you have to ride a car to go to your kitchen. No, just kidding. But yeah, they said, or I've heard about it. So maybe when your house is small, you will get closer to each other because you don't need to move far in a far distance. So how about you, Kam?
Um, I really like a big house because in Vietnam we don't have to pay any tax for a big
Oh,
house. So why I don't want a big house? Because when I want have a because when I have a big house, I have a many space for myself, and of course I have many space for every people can to talk about and play with other people. And at that time, I believe a big house to have other people more connection.
wow. So you want to be a politician? You want to be famous and you want to be a politician, Cam. If you want to build a lot of connections to a lot of people outside your family, it's like being a politician or wanting to be famous. It's only what comes into my mind. If that's your picture, why you wanted to have a big house. Yeah. I hope that you can really connect. Is that for your business, Cam?
What?
Is it for your business purpose?
No,
Mm,
I think the house that's the place for I can refresh my mind and to recover my health.
mm,
So I don't think the big house is the thing uh, to show the how I how I reach with other people. I don't think so.
mm. Yes, I remember that um how big your house is, it's the measurement of the status that you have in the society, whether you are rich, poor, or you're in the middle class. I've heard it's the measurement of how rich you are. But I observe in Vietnam, guys, that the houses are bigger, especially for maybe for those people who are rich. Their house is like 5 floors, 3 floors, like most of my students have 5 floors in their house. And when
Ah,
I tell them, oh, my house is only 1 floor, they said they're so shocked. What? Your house is only 1 floor? And I said, guys, there's a lot of earthquake in the Philippines. And if you have 5 floors, I think you will build your house for how many times in 1 year? Oh, and also the houses in Vietnam, the buildings are very thick. Like the materials, the walls are really thick. And maybe it's because of the season. Seasons are always changing. So it also used to protect of course the people living in it. Okay. So I remember, Cam, with what you said, I remember that it's not important what house you have, but it's more important that you will have a house, that you will not think of having a vacation to another place. Because in your house, you feel that it's always a vacation. Do you get it?
mm, maybe
Mm.
that make me save some money for traveling.
So you need to have a vacation house. Vacation house now
Um, mm,
with big garden, a lot of flowers and pool. Okay.
yes,
So
I really like.
mm, you won't go to any countries anymore. How about you, Anna? Do you imagine to have that kind of house? Big garden with a lot of flowers, swimming pool, cabin.
Yeah, I like a small house with a big yard. There I can plant a lot of trees and flower.
Anna, we're
And
thinking the same. Small house with big space outside or yard, and we will become a farmer. I'm really looking forward to it to plant flowers and plants. Okay, let's have number 6. Do you want a big car? Why or why not?
Yes, I think a big car is the good thing for me when I can take home my family to uh, go go out easy, and that's also to uh, bring many other things with a big car.
Okay. Yes, I think so because you can bring a lot of your family members. But in the Philippines, we use a truck, truck, not a car, to bring a lot of family members to go to the beach. Yes, it's true, and it's very fun because maybe I told you most of my uncles are truck drivers. So when our family go to the beach and we're living in one compound, there's really a lot of family members. We usually ride a truck, not a car, because there's many of us, and it's fun, guys. I think you can try. How about you, Anna?
mm, I don't want to own a big car because my demand doesn't require to have a car. Um, my company is quite near my house, and I just take 20 minutes to travel. I think
Mm,
I don't have to own a big car.
mm. Okay. How many minutes does it take you to walk going to your work from your apartment?
Walk.
Yes, walking.
I never walk to my office, so I don't know exactly at the
How
time.
many? Mm, all right. You can go to Google and inquire how many minutes do you need to walk. Yes, maybe
Yeah.
you can use it, Anna, to as additional exercise aside from yoga to be more
Oh
to
my
be
God.
gorgeous, to be gorgeous. Okay, let's have number 7. Are you happier when you think you have more money, a bigger house, or a more expensive car than your peers? Than maybe, let's say, than the people you know or your neighbors?
Mm. I don't think so. I think the most important is the what happened in my mind, more important than how many money I have outside. And I saw many other people around me when they become richer, and especially some people uh, when they win a lottery, they become richer really fast, and after that, their life become a disaster. And the
Mm,
problem is the knowledge you have to build and to make uh, your life happy or not depend on how many money or how many big you have. And of course, the best is if I have a knowledge and I have more money. That is the good key. And the most important is the knowledge you have to make you happy or not depend on
mm.
money.
Wow, that's very deep wisdom from the great Cam. Yes, I hope so, Cam. Is it true? Yes. Yeah, but I remembered about an idiomatic expression. So the idiomatic expression is money in the air. So money in the air is a money that you get easily, like you didn't work hard for it, and yeah, you just won a lottery or maybe doing some illegal stuff. That's why you get that money. So it's called money in the air, or it's instant money. And they said if you have that kind of money, it will easily be gone. So even in the Philippines, there are a lot of cases that people won lottery and then they have a lot of millions of money, but then they went bankrupt because they were not able to use the money very well. And a lot of people said maybe it's because it's money in the air. It's an instant money or they didn't work hard for it. How about you, Anna? Just
Mm.
thinking, this is just imagination. Are you
Yeah,
happier when you think?
I think when I have this thing, my parents uh, are happy, but me, I think I just happy when all the member in my family are harmony.
Okay. Are in harmony or there is harmony in your family. Wow. So I guess also my parents will be happy if I have this. We're the same, Anna. Okay. Yes, let's have number 8. Is being rich good or bad?
In my case, without you become rich when you corruption, and any other case when you become rich also good, never bad.
Mm, yes. It's like how did you become rich? Right? If you become rich because of corruption, maybe then that's of course that's bad. But if you become rich because of hard work, that's ultimately good. Okay. How about you, Anna?
I think rich is good and bad.
Both.
It's good, of course, because all of us always want to be rich. But
Mm.
if we are rich and there are a lot of people know about how rich we are, it's dangerous. Because I think one day there is a thief visit my house and can kill kill me. I'm afraid of it.
So you don't feel secure. Yes, because of what you said, Anna, I remember also one of the books I've read and it talks about why are the poor happier than the rich, even though they have a lot of money. They work really hard, and even though they have a lot of security guards, they feel scared because of what you said. Many people are thinking of barging in into the house and stealing things. That's why rich people they don't feel secure, they don't feel safe. Maybe from time to time, okay, maybe someone will come here and steal something. Yes. Is there anything else, Anna?
No, it's enough.
No. That's all. Oh my God. It's only because of the robbers and the things. Okay. So let's have number 9. If you had everything you wanted, what would you do then? Wow. Very hopeful.
I think if I
Ta-da-da.
have anything I want, after that I want to find out the death.
Huh? You want to find out about
Because
death?
yes, because I when I have many everything I want, I think at that time I don't have any emotion, or I can keep practice, keep exercise, or doing something like that. And at that time, the people become uh, non-target.
Non-target?
Mm,
What do you mean by that, Cam?
mm. I mean is I don't have any target. I don't have any purpose for I want to do, for I want to show.
Mm.
At that time, I think really bad.
Mm. Okay. I got it. So you don't have the drive or the goals in life if you already had everything. You have a point there. What's the point of struggling every day or making our best every day If we have everything already, there is nothing to do. Very intelligent. Okay. Let's have Anna. If you had everything, what would you do then?
Mm,
Maybe it's
I,
asking if you don't have any worries anymore.
I think I just happy for a short time. After that, I'm getting bored because I I don't have any motivation.
Mm,
Mm.
and it's right. Maybe it's asking guys if you don't need to do what you are doing right now because you already have it. What would you do? Would you like to travel, like build your charity, study another thing? Maybe it's like that. So let's have number 10. Why is it hard to give up our desires? Give up thinking about your big house. And Anna, your house 20 years from now. Who wants to answer? Anna, is it hard to give up your desires or your wants in life?
Well, it's just not hard. It's cannot give up our desire.
You can't.
Yeah.
Why? It's part of our lives like that.
I think without it, we cannot live. Uh, we cannot live without our desire.
Mm, got it. How about you, Cam? Is it hard to give up your desires?
I think easy to answer this question because when I still alive, at that time I also have a desire, and when I die, at that time every desire will give up.
Well, you always talk about dying and then they come. Okay, let's have number 11. How can we cure? Oh my God, why is the word very heavy? It's really cure ourselves from always wanting too much. It's like that this question is saying that wanting too much or desiring too much is a disease because you have to cure it. Come.
I think we don't we shouldn't don't we shouldn't want to find out the cure for reduce our desires because our society develop as the day uh, because almost the cost from our desire. So that's why we have to stop that. Why we really want our society develop. I think this question really uh, mm, really.
Very stupid again.
Stupid again. Oh my God, there's a lot of stupid question. Because come, you are thinking about big things. For example, you are really desiring about using Facebook all the time, like you are addicted to it. One of my students told me that what she did when she's really addicted to Facebook is that she give up herself into using Facebook. She used Facebook for 2 days nonstop use of Facebook because she really desired and want. She have an addiction about it. And after using Facebook for 2 days nonstop,